is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in a perfect spot. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in the perfect spots. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Feeling it piece by piece. Our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in their perfect spots. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in a perfect spot. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in the perfect spots. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Feeling it piece by piece. Our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in their perfect spots. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bring bring in joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in a perfect spot. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in the perfect spots. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's competition and the first unboxed EJJ. All right, don't worry, I will tell you when to mute. You don't have to. You don't have to start muting just right now. You can mute the commentary once we actually do the countdown, and then yeah, once the competition starts. All right. Greetings, Jim and Victor, who will be our co-hosts this evening. Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
Nice to have you on the commentary team this time, Victor. Something a bit different. Yes. So the theme today is doing a puzzle without the box, and I'd love to know, Victor, do you ever do this type of training?
Never. I want to start because I saw what was proposed on the Speedpuzzle website for the mention competition in next year. So I need to train that, but I never do it, and it will be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah. What about you, Jim? Is this something that you suggest to your the teams and individuals who you coach to practice this type of training?
Yeah, it kind of depends puzzler to puzzler, because some people always use the image and it becomes it can become a little bit of a crutch, and some people never use it. So it's sort of finding that balance whenever you're doing training things. So yeah, I recommend trying a few runs without a box, just so you can get comfortable working through the pile itself, rather than relying on doing a lot of like image checking. Because it can speed up a few things here and there. But it's going to be really interesting to see how people get on, because I know we have a pretty even split of people that really use the image and really don't. And it also depends on what is even on the picture itself, because sometimes you can have a really happy gradient and you don't need to check the image at all. And other times you can have something that's really specific, and that helps quite a bit. So I'm excited to see what the image ends up being and how that affects how everybody approaches it.
Yeah, so we did have a bunch of people do the puzzle this morning with the image in the Flex meeting. So that was very interesting to watch, and yeah, so I'm sure several of them will be watching now and be curious to see how people get on without the image. Yeah, Victor, are you someone who looks at the box when you are puzzling, or do you prefer just to let the pieces speak to you and to like guide you?
I wish I could just let pieces speak to me, but unfortunately, I'm always looking at the box. Like, there's no time that I'm not looking at the box. even when I'm flipping the pieces, I'm looking at the box already. Because I know that I need to know what I'm going to do. Just getting, when I'm sorting something, either for a team or for myself, uh, when I just get the pieces and I don't know what it is and how it looks, I'm not able to do it. So this competition was my kryptonite. So I decided to skip this one, but maybe next time I will when I train,
All right. Yes, I just noticed Vesna has the version from this morning. Yeah, I'm just going to have to think about what we do about that. Jim, do you have the spreadsheet open?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you could just go ahead and read some of the answers. I think there are some really interesting answers to this question, and it tells us a bit more about the puzzlers who will be in the competition today.
Yeah, so just reading off a couple that are on here. Hannah L said for if you're using the image, says yes, for training occasionally I do usually look at the box often, as I am a pick and place person quite a lot. And yeah, that's one of those things where if you specialize in pick and place or DR, having that image locked in is really, really helpful. Steffi H is also saying that I love to do puzzles without the image for fun. I already did this as a child. I barely look at the box in general and love images where I don't have to look at the image. Therefore, I love gradients and skies and something like that for puzzling. Really, really cool. Alenka is saying that this was the original way my sister and I were doing puzzles for fun as kids. 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 piece puzzles. We rarely had new puzzles, and the way to make it more fun was to randomly take the pieces out of the box and assemble them without looking at the image. I was still doing puzzles this way until 3 years ago when I got to know speed puzzling. Now, unfortunately, almost every puzzle counts as training, and I almost always do it with the box and timer. I've learned how to look at the box, and now I'm very curious how I'll be able to do this in the old way. I can't wait. And then they have a fun fact. 2 years ago, I sent an email suggesting to do an extra category at the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships that would be unboxed because I found 500 pieces with the images too easily. Unfortunately, never got to apply. Well, I got great news, Lenka. Today is your lucky day. You have a competition where that is the rule. So it's gonna be really exciting.
And there's also many people that mention cheating as though, looking at the box would be a cheat code. And I guess it is, but also, I don't know. I like the box.
I think it's an extra tool, right? And depending on what your goal is at the time, it's like anything else. I've talked to a lot of puzzlers that agree that it feels like cheating if you're using the image for funsies, because part of the fun is solving out what it is that you're working on, right? That's part of the joy that they get, is working through it and trying to figure out what all's going on as you're plowing through. And that also goes for speedsters, right? Like there's a lot of speed puzzlers that don't want to look at the image because they really operate under this sunbursting process of what's on the outer edge of what I've already built. Let me keep building out from there. Which is really cool. I'm curious how some of the puzzlers that tend to be a little more chaotic in how they approach things rather than systematic, like island perfect placement. If they do a lot of these onesie twosie groupies, how are they going to get on with this? Because that can really work in their favor, because they may not get distracted by trying to place things perfectly, but it may also be a little bit of a hindrance, and that's where what the image is going to come into play quite a bit here.
Yes, and we'll have to see if Michelle decided to give us something startable and kind of sunburstable, or something a little bit more tricky. So we'll have some sections that we'll be able to sort, and some that we kind of would need to pick and place if we could.
Yeah, that's a great point, Victor. I'm kind of curious how many puzzlers, if they're if they're not used to working without an image, how many are going to default to sorting quite a bit? And is there a chance that they're going to oversort or significantly undersort in ways that might be a little tricky? You know, like if you pull out all of the reds, do you then have to make a secondary third sort, splitting those down if you're not entirely sure how big some of those sections are? It's going to be really exciting to see what people end up doing.
All right. Okay. So I think we've averted a little crisis here. So I just noticed that Vesna had the version from this morning that was the original wrapped in the box, but luckily she's streaming. So I just went onto the stream and asked her husband Jan to take the puzzle away, unwrap it, hide the box, and only give her back the pieces. Okay. So we are 1 minute away. So it looks like we are ready to go. So what we're going to do is everybody has the, okay, almost everybody. So Vesna doesn't now, hers is thrown away. And I know that Catherine doesn't have her box with her because she was traveling from Germany to America. And we both agreed it seemed a bit silly to travel with an empty box, taking up space in her luggage. So she has left the box in Germany. Otherwise, everybody has 2 packages. So ideally, if you have space on your table, just put the wrapped box just off to the side. Yeah, ideally a little corner of it in the view so that we know that during the competition it's not touched and unwrapped. If you have a tiny table, then that's okay, just place it off to the side. However, when you finish and you click done, you have your finished puzzle, take the box and put it next to it, just so that we can see that the puzzle is still intact. Okay, so yeah, that's good. Just box off to the side. I don't know, does it even make sense to unwrap the pieces from the bag? Or should we? I mean,
maybe cut the tabs so that way you can get them out easy. But.
Okay, so how about you just cut the stickers? Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cut the seal of your bag, so that when I do the countdown, you can. Not you, Vesna, because yours. Just no, Vesna. Vesna, you just leave yours on the table. Everybody else has an extra bag around theirs. Okay, so just cut the bag just so that when you are allowed to go, you can just easily pull out the bag of pieces, throw the wrapping away, and then get into it. So just a reminder is that participants should not be listening to the commentary because Victor and Jim are going to be talking about the image, what they think it is, describing what they see, and we don't want you to be getting any hints about what other people are doing and what the image looks like as it's being formed. So when I do the countdown, you are going to get ready to mute. So when I do the countdown, you hit mute, you rip open your bag, and then off you go. So let's just get the right screen up.
Flex your fingers a little bit, get warmed up.
Okay. All right. So get ready to mute and to puzzle in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off in this unboxed puzzle competition in the Euro Jigsaw Jam. I'm really excited. I can already see there's a lot of random, totally different colors on a lot of these pieces. This is going to be really exciting to see how people get on.
Yeah, what are the colors? What we are seeing? I think we are seeing a lot, actually. We see some yellows, greens, blues, pinks, purples.
Yeah, it might be really tempting to do a big sort here, and I wonder if people are familiar with this kind of cut because it looks like the Speedpuzzle brand. If they're going to sort edges as a default and kind of work around from that, and then maybe do some of the color swatches. I'm not seeing a lot of particular pattern on the pieces just yet, so this is going to be fascinating to see how people decide to do their flip this early on. We're coming up on about 55 seconds here, and you can see some people are sorting out towards the edges, some are trying to get a little bit of color, and this is where all of those different processes are going to be really exciting to play out.
And on the screen, we can see the first 6. And the first one is Alejandro Clemente Leon. He's flipping, and I think he's separating the edges. And the same goes for Anna S. And I think we can say that there is a bigger sort going on for Angelica W. And then again, edges for the rest. So for Anarus and for Aline and Bridget. And I think we can see some texture on the pieces and also kind of a black object that is on top of the yellow.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, and now that more pieces are starting to get flipped over, you can see that there are some darker pieces in there. It also looks like streaks of individual patterns or colors over top of some things. Like I think there might be some grass-like green over top of some of the yellows. But this is going to be really fun to see. You can see Alejandro. We're coming up on 2 minutes and 15 seconds, almost done with this flip. He typically sorts his edges out early, but Eileen here is doing a great job making this big rainbow spread above her pieces as she's going. This is going to be really cool to see, not just how the flip works, but how every step continues from this point on.
Now I'm wondering if the edges that we are seeing, are they in all of the colors, or some of the colors are only in the inside?
Ooh. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So I think that most of the edges are yellow and green, and we basically have all of the colors in the rest of the pieces. So I wonder if some of the sections are more towards the outside of the puzzle and some in the middle. So I think what it looks like is that this unidentified object is going to be somewhere in the middle.
So a UFP, an unidentified puzzle, an unidentified flying puzzle piece. But we can see in the upper left-hand corner here, we have Camille going to town, finishing up the flip. We're crossing the 3-minute and 30-second line here. Catherine L in the upper middle doing a fantastic job here. You can see that she sorted her edges towards the screen a little bit. Katrine in the upper right-hand corner, I think that she's pulled some of the edges over to her left-hand side and is scooting a lot of the other pieces over to the right. Charlene with that classic red table, which is going to be really fun to see to see her puzzle. I always love the different color backgrounds, but she's doing that big rainbow spread of pieces around her her work area. Kiara in the bottom middle there, splitting that midline on her table a little bit, but it looks like she's also decided to go for edges early on. And in the bottom right-hand corner is Christine L, getting finishing up the rest of the flip, but it looks like she's also decided to sort most of the edges.
Yeah, and it looks like we have a gradient in the edge, or just the color blocks, but most of them, as I said, are yellow and green. Some of them are very dark blue. So this dark blue probably is not connecting to the black objects. We can see on Camille's table that it's a separation between them. She has additional 2 piles. One is, let's say, both dark blue and some yellows, and the next pile is only dark black, gray, I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm also seeing a lot of orange. I wonder if there's like darker oranges and lighter oranges that people might start gravitating towards, because there's not a ton of it, but there's just a little bit that might stick out.
Yeah, and I think we can also see some sharp separation between the colors too on some of the tables. So we have pieces that have the connecting line between, for example, the pinks and the yellows. So people will be able to follow the line and then build inside of this region that is separated from the other colors. And now on the screen, we have Christine, who also did the whole flip and edge pull, and now is working on the pinks. Then we have Columbine, and she did a very good sort, I must say. And I think she's still doing the sort, and the colors are in a very nice spread. Then we have Daniela, and she is also seemingly sorting many different colors into many piles. We have Denise in the left bottom corner, and she is almost done with the edges. Dora has this, as you call it, rainbow spread, and she's also almost, no, she's doing the edges right now. So, oh, that's great. And also we have Lynn, and she also has the edges halfway done and the pinks and reds separated.
Yeah, it's really interesting. In the upper middle there with Colomine, she, there's always this trade-off of time. Like, do you spend a lot of time up front sorting to save you time down the line? And I think that's her strategy here, is to make a pretty tight sort early, and that way she can zipper up the rest of it. We've seen some other puzzlers that are really into sorting, like Kristen Tuve, that do this early slowdown where it looks like they're behind, but then because they've been so accurate with that split, they make a huge catch up, and I'm really excited to see how she gets on. Same thing with Ellen. She's starting in on that edge, but those pulls for those red colors are doing really, really well so far.
And this is interesting because if we have clear lines between the colors, we can both sort and then arrange the piles into correct positions because we know which colors go together because of the line. So I think Columbine was using that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we hope that's the order, right? It's always hard to tell without the image, but one hopes for the best in that. Now, Victor, whenever you see something like this, what would your initial strategy maybe be?
To get the box.
Fair enough.
But for this, I think I would try to localize the lines first, and maybe not sort them out, but to notice them, that there are the lines and what colors are going next to each other. And then if those lines are diagonal or parallel and perpendicular to the piece shape, because that's important if you want to position the section. And also the other thing would be to always run the estimation process for how many pieces are in this specific section, and the least you have, the more probable is that this section is going to be easier. So maybe you should start with this.
Yeah.
And I think this is the approach I would take.
You can see in the upper left-hand corner here, Elisa doing a fantastic job working on that edge as well. In the upper middle, I think that's Elisa. Also working on the border. It looks like she's pulled some of those reds and pinks and made it a little bit of a separation there. Ellen Sino in the upper right-hand corner has the full border built. And this is really interesting. How many puzzlers are going to treat this like a landscape versus a portrait? When you don't know the image, you often default to what is most common or what you've done the most. So I think a lot of the puzzlers are going to default to treating this like a landscape. And without a whole lot of information, that might be the initial way to go, because you're used to putting blue skies up near the top. So that orientation makes sense whenever you don't know what's going to happen. In the lower left-hand corner, you can see Amelia Lieberman doing a fantastic job, has almost that full border built and is now starting in, I think, on some of those middle black pieces, trying to line those up. Eva Lee in the bottom middle also has that border kind of lined out, but not necessarily placed in which side is going to be where. It's going to be fun to see what they decide to do here. And Fleur in the lower right-hand corner, you can see that they've done a bit of a sort for the blues and I think some of those yellows, and are also lining up a lot of that border. I know some of the EJJ regulars are used to this particular brand and have an idea of the spacing. So I wonder if folks that are pretty used to this style have a little bit of an edge here.
I also, Jim, really like that you just said that the landscape position is the default. I agree.
Well, I don't know if it's I don't know, like it's sort of what you end up doing the most, right? Like what is in your puzzling experience, what are you typically attracted to? So I'm always curious what people end up grabbing. You can see in the upper left-hand corner, this is Freya going to town on that border, and now using a little bit of a sunburst to breach out from an area of the border that they've already built. Really, really smart puzzling when you're not sure where to go next. Continuing on from something that you've already built is a great way to do it. Frida in the upper middle has the full border and is now pulling out these baby green blues. I'm not quite sure how to describe that color, but they're doing excellent. You can see Grego in the upper right-hand corner. I think he's sitting or kneeling almost on the couch. That's a really fun play area to work on. But he's doing excellent so far. You can see that there's a big sorted pile over on his left-hand side that's going to be going in pretty quickly. Hannah L in the lower left, you can see has that full border and is now attacking those reds that have an interesting texture in the lower left-hand side. I'm not sure if that's a bird or some kind of sunrise, but she is going to town on that right now. And that red texture, that red color with those little bits of streaky dark brown or red that's inside of there is a really good pull. We can see Iona in the lower middle has done almost a full sort, and we're coming up on about 12 minutes and 30 seconds here inside of this competition, and she has done this huge sort up front, and I'm hoping she's going to be able to zipper through the rest of it really quickly. And Inga in the lower right hand side, the pieces are a little squished, and that happens whenever you're not entirely sure of what the spacing is going to be, or if you even have the right orientation for the border. But she's doing excellent so far.
We can see some interesting section being built for sure. I think the reds and pinks are going to be the most picked ones, and I think the reds are connected to the weird green color you mentioned. So having said that, I think the greens are not as many, there are not as many of them, so maybe we can start with those and then follow with the red.
Yeah, that's
we actually have a skyline in this puzzle.
Oh, what do you think about the art style on this one, Victor? Do you like? I think it looks a little cartoony. It might be paintbrushy. It's definitely not photorealism. So I think some of the puzzlers are going to be happy and or disappointed about that because there's always a split.
I think this is very similar to one of the EJJ puzzles that we had. It was the unreleased, like a flower one with the rainbow, similar to the Paris one from Worlds. I think this is similar style.
That makes a lot of sense. We can see Inga going to town in the upper left-hand corner, has that full border built, and I think in one of the corners has done a little bit of work in those yellows and reds. Irma in the upper middle has done the full border, and it's really impressive to get a full border done. 86 pieces in under 15 minutes is not too shabby when you include the flip as well. Eva in the upper right-hand corner has decided to not complete the border, but is really working on a lot of those blues. And I'm kind of curious if there's going to be like a sea background scene. But look at Catherine in the lower left-hand corner here. Hasn't done a border, but has pulled a lot of these purples and pinks and put them together. And I can't quite make out what these islands are, but they look like some kind of creatures or flowers, I think, that are going to be really interesting to see. What's that?
It looks like an underwater scene, actually.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like an octopi. I don't know.
Oh wow, that would be really interesting because if it's an underwater scene, where those blues end up being inside the image might throw people off. This is going to be really exciting. Jacqueline in the lower middle has pulled out a lot of those green blues, purples to the side, and is working on those edges. And Jane Lund in the lower right hand corner, I think that's Lunsford. Jane Lund has the full border built and is now pulling those black pieces into the middle of the build field. Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see what targets people aim for whenever you're not entirely certain. I'm seeing that there's a lot of folks that are going for these purples and pinks now because I think there's less of while there's more of that color, I think there might be a little more distinction throughout that makes it a little bit easier to play around with. We're coming up on about 16 minutes here, and they are really making excellent progress so far.
I also wonder if we are going to have people that are going to go for the blues, because if they are done with them, they are probably the biggest single sections. So after those, I think the rest should be faster. So we might see some people that are going to be done with the quote unquote easy sections, and then we'll have to go for the solid sections, but they will have more information for the piece shapes. And then we'll have people that started with those because those were like the most distinguishable ones, and then try to go for the ones that they didn't know where to place them, right? So I don't know which strategy is going to win.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Victor, because whenever you're not sure what's going to happen, being able to turn the crank and go over towards shape work is really a really slick procedure.
And we have Jonah in the top left corner, and she pulled out the pinks and started assembling them, also the full edge, which is very nice. Then we have Julia with the greens sorted and pinks already done. The same with the edge.
Wow.
And then we have Karina, and she seems to be doing the light pinks and also has done the border and this single kind of orange yellow section in the one of the corners. Katarina as well that has done the whole border and seems to be having the pink separated out on the right. Then we have Kati, where we don't really see much, but I was looking at her before, and I know she has done the greens, the light greens, and also the reds that connect to it, and the whole edge. So she might be cruising this time. And then we have Katie, and she has the border done, the same orange section complete as Karina, doing the pinks, and we can see that the reds and the lines are probably sorted out on the tray.
Oh yeah, and I mean even using a sorting tray in something like this where you don't know what it's going to be is an interesting tactic on its own, because you may be loading up a lot of pieces in a way that's going to help you down the line. You may also be splitting your pile a little bit and making it more difficult for yourself as you go. But I'm really excited to see so many different tactics here. I think that red pink creature that Julia has built out in the upper right hand part of her screen is looking really good right now. We are coming up on about 19 minutes in this competition, and people are just flying right now. I wonder, Victor, what do you think times might be on something like this?
So I think my prediction would be 43.
I think that's a good estimate. I'm gonna shoot a little lower, and I'm gonna say maybe around 30. I'm gonna be aggressive, but I'm gonna say we'll have somebody get this done in about 36. I don't think we're gonna have any sub 30s based on what we're seeing. But I think that once the switch flips and these puzzlers can use a lot more shape work, we'll see an acceleration on the second half of this.
Yes, and now on the screen we see the next 6. We have Katrin that is doing the solid sections connecting to the edge. And then we have Kirsten that has done a whole bunch of purples and pinks and reds, and the edge is not really connected, but it's already done, so wow. Then we have Connor, who is doing his first live, and he has done the purples, pinks, reds, and edge. Wow, that's a lot of progress. Then we have Kinga, and she is doing the lines, also has the solid section started and has the edge. Then we see Kristen, who has a very similar tactic to Connor with doing the edge and the pinks and purples. That's interesting. And then we have Line, who is doing the edge and some of the objects that are connecting to the edge. I don't think I have seen someone doing them. That's very interesting. we can actually see what they are.
Oh yeah. Look at the progress that both Connor and Kristen have made so far. Getting those big purple chunks in, it's almost broken down the puzzle into these collage units. That's almost a perfect square that are catty corner to each other. They're sort of in opposite sides, and so now they're going to be able to do that little bit of fill in. Kristen typically doesn't do the border unless she absolutely has to. And so she's really doing this fill in in a really cool way. But Connor is just flying right now. He's definitely one of the fastest puzzlers in the U.S. right now. And even though he's young, he's got a really good future ahead of him in speed puzzling.
Yes, I think we can safely assume that this picture is a collage of similar pictures, but a collage nonetheless. Just by looking at those sharp lines.
Oh yeah, and you can see that within those cells, there's a little bit of gradient inside of that, and it's so fun. Whenever you don't know it's a collage ahead of time, you don't plan out which lines you want to find to put in, and you end up having these weird splits of things. And I wonder if those awkward overlaps of color lines are throwing some of these puzzlers off a little bit. This is really exciting to see how people are getting on, though.
Yeah, I think my prediction was wrong.
It's always difficult to tell, and like we were talking about earlier, the image matters, and what is the puzzle that you're working on going to be comes into so much play, right? Like a lot of people shied away from those purples and pinks early because it looked like there was so much of it, but for people that attacked it right away, they went together pretty quickly because you can break that group down into smaller chunks and digest it. You can see Connor finishing up that lower left-hand corner and just really going to town on it. But now on screen, in the upper left-hand corner, we have Lenka doing a fantastic job, has the full border, and it looks like she's sunbursting down a little bit from the top, getting those blue-greens locked in place. Lena S. in our upper middle here has that full border. And you can see that she's placing a lot of those purples inside of the build field itself and has that black creature with the yellow background also squared away. Linda W. over on the right-hand side has done a little bit of sorting with those blue-greens and has made it looks like she's doing a full outline of one of those collage cells. That's so interesting. Didn't complete the border, but has made that outline really well. Lynn in the lower left-hand corner has the full border and is doing the lines of this collage without even knowing what this image is. That's so fascinating that she's able to see those color distinctions and is building out those lines. We can see that Lisa in the lower middle has that full border built, and we are coming up on the 20 almost 24 minutes and 30 seconds line. And Marcia in the lower right-hand corner, full border, has a lot of those blues built downwards and has those those baby blues worked in. Marcia has a really good color acuity, but whenever you're not sure about the image, where to place those comes into question quite a bit. And yes, I know that Michelle's trolling me a little bit with the black creature with the yellow background because I don't know what we're seeing yet, and I'm not sure a lot of these puzzlers do. Victor, how many times have we had it where people have said, I'm working on X, Y, or Z, but then later on they find out that it wasn't the thing they thought it was?
Yes, and actually after seeing some of the sections of the collage being built and some of them being done, I still don't know what they are. So it's very abstract, but at the same time, it just looks like something, but not something you have ever seen. And I think in one of the that's going to be very difficult. In one of the sections that is underneath the darkest strip of very dark blue in the edge, I think we are going to have those wavy colors of yellow, green, and that's going to be very difficult to put together. I think it's going to be just by piece shapes, and I think this will be the last section everyone will do.
Mm. You can see in the upper left-hand corner here, this is Magdalene doing has a lot of that border and is starting to build in on those wavy purple and pinks. Marguerite May in the upper middle here looks like she's done that top part of the border and is branched down a little bit, and that's where those were those like orange sky bits that I was thinking that I was seeing earlier. You can see Maya in the upper right-hand corner. Also doing those yellows and oranges, trying to get those squared out. And I think in the lower left-hand corner, you can see a big chunk of reds that they've built. Maya in the lower left-hand corner has a full border and a lot of regions of those dark blues branched out from either end, sort of sandwiching in from the sides. In the bottom middle, there's Mari Black. Hi, I love you. Mari's doing a great job. Not listening to the commentary, but you can see that she has that full border built, those blacks and those dark blues squeezing in from the sides. She's built an island of reds on the outside, and there's a lot of things floating in the middle. You can see Maria in the lower right-hand corner has that full border built and has done a pretty decent-sized sword on those blues.
And she seems to have done the presumably hardest section too. The one in the top left corner, right?
Yeah.
With the wavy, I don't know, landscape.
This is really fascinating to see. I think you're right that it's a collage that has several different elements. I think each cell has different things in it. I'm starting to see moons come together. I'm seeing these flowers. It's really interesting to see here. You can see coming up on the screens in your upper left-hand corner is Maria. Maria TV think that's the full border and is working on that red. I'm not sure if it's a banana peel or a flower kind of thing. If you're in the chat and you haven't seen this puzzle, let us know what you think some of these creatures are, or what items are existing in here. In the upper middle, Maria is doing a great job. Has that full border. You can see that she's made a couple of islands in the middle of the build field. With the red. And yes, Maria is wearing some EJJ merch. It is fantastic. Highly recommend it. Marilla's in the upper right-hand corner. It looks like they've made several islands over on the right-hand side and haven't fully pieced together the border, but a lot of those chunks are there. Marina in the lower left-hand side, you can see that she's done the border and has outlined several little chunks here and there and has done some sorting of the different colors. Hopefully that'll let her zipper up the rest of this as we cross the 29-minute mark. You can see in the lower middle, Marilyn has that full border, and you can see that she's done some sorting of those purples, and those yellows and blues and greens are all kind of stuck together, and that's where that color distinction in that one cell is going to throw people off. And Milia in the lower right-hand corner has a full border as well, and is just trucking to finish this up.
And interesting, and I think this is something that we already assumed, is that many people are just doing this puzzle with completely different orientations. And I wonder if this is going to help someone or not, because some of the objects maybe can be, easier to do in one orientation and not in the other one. Like the banana peel you mentioned.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. If you're a puzzler that really needs the orientation to match the way that you think about it, then doing a puzzle without knowing what the image is going to be really difficult. We know some puzzlers excel at doing things upside down or sideways. It doesn't matter what their orientation is; they can throw things in. They're going to have an advantage right now.
Exactly. And from the next 6, we have Moika. That is doing the intersections, I think, also having the edge done. And now we have Nadia. Nadia is a chaotic puzzler. It seems like she has done many different connected pieces, maybe 2 or 3, and are kind of placed in the approximate place that they should go to together at some point, and has the whole edge and some of the biggest colors done. We have Nika in top right corner. She has done the 2 sections that we seen Connor and Kristen started with. So the purples and pinks. the whole edge and the banana peel. I think this is going to be with us to the end of this live stream. Then we have Nina, who is doing more sorting at this stage. She seems to be done with the edge, but the edge is not connected together. So she is leaving the space so that she can connect the things later. And now she can rotate them as she wants to. Then we have Olivia, and Olivia is the first person that is showing us what the other sections are. So the one section that we haven't seen before are the beach flip-flops. I don't know how they are called in English.
Yeah, flip-flops, yeah.
Yeah, and the second one is, as we suspected, is just the wavy background. So interesting. She's doing the opposite of basically almost anyone. And then we have Paulina, and she is doing the pinks and purples, having the whole edge, and she's also almost done with the background of the pinks, which is yellow and green and orange, so it's difficult to separate them out from the background from the flip-flop, so that's very impressive.
Oh yeah. Well, I think what we're starting to see now is that in this collage, it's all things you find at a beach. So there might be sea anemones. I'm seeing the sandals on the flip flops on the beach. There might be. I'm still not entirely sure what the banana thing is just yet, but we're gonna figure it out together with a better view.
Yeah, and I think that we might need to look at Kristen at some point, because Kristen is heading to the end.
Yeah, several people are closing in here. You can see in the upper left-hand corner, Rachel Chambers has only one cell of this remaining. So maybe, so maybe about 120 pieces or so, probably less. She is going to town. In the upper right-hand corner, Rosa doing a fantastic job getting that border. And Sammy Brownlow in the lower left-hand corner has over half of this puzzle completed. Did those catty corner sides of the puzzle. Teresa is also down to the last little bit here. There are so many people coming into the close. You can see Kristen doing a fantastic job. She has one cell remaining. And Connor in the lower right-hand corner, sorry, in the lower middle, is down to the last two cells. He's using a ton of shape work to finish this up. And Alejandro is down to the last two cells. He has a lot of those yellows and greens, but I think that Connor and Kristen are running into, are going to be running this to see who's going to come out ahead.
Yes, I think Teresa and Kristen are the closest to one another. And then we for sure have a Connor, and then the rest. But yeah, as we suspected by looking at the pieces, the yellows weren't that easy to separate out, and they're repetitive all across the puzzle. So no wonder that those are the ones that are left. And also, these are the most difficult sections, because even if the background from the flip-flops is like the solid color, it's behind the flip-flops. So it's not that easy to organize and orientate where everything goes.
Oh yeah, but we are coming in on the close here. We just crossed 34 minutes and 28 seconds, so we might be able to see some people go sub 40 on this. Kristen coming in on the last little bit, this like Rembrandt sky background on the cell that she's working on. You can see that she's using the yellow pieces to do the outlines of those stars and moons, and is then going to fill in from there. Kristen is so accurate whenever it comes to this kind of shape work and this kind of color acuity. It's so good, so good. And Teresa did this in a portrait style, and you can see where that orientation might be throwing her off just a little bit, because you're not lining yourself up with those waves quite right. She's doing excellent. Connor doing a great job. He just finished that lower sandal side, and now he's got to finish that last section that has those wavy yellows and blues. That's going to be so difficult here.
It's also interesting to me that Kristen didn't go for the plants, but for the backgrounds rather. That's very interesting. And Kristen is done. Congratulations.
Congratulations. A former world champion showing us how it's done. Congratulations. A no look at the image at all. The box is completely wrapped up. Congratulations, Kristen. And we have more people coming into the finish here. You can see
Yes, and
Connor,
it seems
his
like
hands.
Teresa is doing something different because Teresa is actually doing the blue sections between the yellow lines. So yeah, that's very interesting. She just have those little islands, and then she just has to, connect them together with the yellows.
Hmm.
And also, she's going to have this structure with the plants if she decides to go for the plants and then fill in the yellows.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. You can see Connor built that same line in that Teresa's trying to do. I think he used a lot of background there to try to line it out, but now he can switch over into shape work mode. He's down to maybe about the last 50 pieces or so, and Kati is coming up on the close. She's in a very similar position. Without that line already built in, she can't use quite as much shape work, and so we're seeing Connor accelerate here into the end. Teresa's not too far behind him. I think they're neck and neck right now in terms of total piece count, but I think Connor might have the edge here. This is going to be really, really tight.
That's going to be very close.
Oh, wow. You can see they're going piece for piece right now, trying to get those last one in. Connor has decided to stand up to try to get those last one in. Is he going to be able to stay ahead? He's down to the last 7 pieces. I can't quite see how many Teresa has left on my screen, but she is flying right now. They both know that the adrenaline is hitting right now. Who's going to be able to take it out and hit the buzzer just ahead of the other? I think Teresa might be able to get it here. We're coming up the last couple of pieces. Does Teresa hit the button? Oh, this is going to be so close. Who's going to be able to be in the top 5 here? Teresa and Connor flying right now to try to finish up. Connor hits the button. I didn't get to see who hit it, but it's Connor and Teresa are right next to each other right now. It's gonna be really interesting to see what the timers end up saying.
Yes, I think we have the results from Connor, but not from Teresa yet.
Oh, Teresa might have had a technical thing, but that is a fantastic job by both Connor and Teresa. A top 3 finish for both of them. We'll see how it lines up here in a minute. Congratulations to both of you. I'm sure you've got to be feeling all sorts of tired, but the race goes on for the rest of the field here as we try to close this out. You can see that Alejandro is finishing up strong, is down in those yellows in that squirrely yellow and green. Kati doing a great job, and I think Rachel Chambers is also coming into the close here.
Yes, and I think that Ninka is also only left with one of the sections. There's a lot of people that are coming to a close.
Yeah, this is gonna be really, really, really tight here. You can see Alejandro knows that the end is in sight here. We're coming up on 39. We just crossed the 39-minute line, and Kati is down to the last 7 pieces or so. I don't think Rachel's going to be able to catch her here. I think Kati's going to be able to lock up the next position in overall time here, trying to get those last couple of pieces in. I think Rachel is down to just that C, but Kati hits the buzzer. Congratulations. A strong finish by one of the fastest puzzlers in the world.
Wow.
This is so exciting, and just over the 39-minute mark, it's absolutely phenomenal how fast these puzzlers are going without the image. Having that extra tool goes such a long way. But now we're seeing people just fly through the rest of this. Alejandro is made those lines with the trees and is now being able to sandwich in and use the shape work to finish up. Kiara's not too far behind him either. Rachel Chambers trying to work with the gradient in that C section to finish this up, and they are just flying right now. Who's going to be able to take out the next position? I think Alejandro is going to be able to slide into this slot, and we'll round out our top 5. But everybody else, keep going as fast as you can. I know this is a challenge for a lot of people that are used to using the image.
And it's also super impressive to be able to put these swirly yellows together without having the reference image. That's just so amazing to me.
It's so wacky. And Alejandro hits the buzzer. Congratulations. Not only is he a world champion, he is also one of the nicest humans in the world, which I think should be an award that people give out at some point.
It should, yes.
And here
I
comes
love
Kiara
him.
and Rachel. Kiara and Rachel closing out as well. I think Kiara's down to the last three pieces. Is she going to be able to get them in just ahead of Rachel? And Kiara hits the buzzer just ahead. Rachel having to flip those last two pieces and then hits the buzzer so close together. That is an absolutely phenomenal finish by both puzzlers. This is so tight. This is the kind of thing where any uncertainty early on throws off the can throw off your time by just that little bit. And sometimes it comes down to luck. Were you lucky enough to notice that a couple of pieces kind of grouped together early on, or did you get stuck in a slightly different trap? Those extra 5-10 seconds go a long way, but we have more finishers coming through. This is absolutely phenomenal puzzling, and I'm really excited to see how many finishers we have so far and how many people are going to keep crushing this. We can see Marcha doing a fantastic job, is down to those yellows and that squirrely wavy sky with the forest section. Lenka in the lower left-hand side, finishing up that alternating blue and yellow sky region as well. Sammy Brownlow down to the last section that's in the upper left-hand corner, also known as the bat. She's doing a fantastic job right now. Freya is up to that into the forest, and so is Inga. This is going to be a really tight finish for our top 10.
Inga seems to have the yellows left, and only for the flip-flops, so maybe it's going to go faster than the swirly lines.
We're going to see how it lines out. But I'm just fascinated by how quickly people are getting through this. Freya is doing a fantastic job, and you can see Mari Black in the lower right-hand corner also starting in on that forest region. But I think this is really going to come down to who can switch into shape mode the fastest, so that way you don't have to rely on trying to figure out these colors as you go too terribly much. But Sammy Brownlow doing an excellent job here. You can see Marcha has mostly fill in at this point. She's doing really, really well. I'm trying to pull her up on my smaller screen so I can get a zoom in on how she's doing. I think Marcha has only yellows remaining, and I think it's down to just shape work for her. She's going to be able to get those in, but is it split? I think it's a little split. No, they're all in that same region, so she's going to be able to blast through this pretty quickly. Freya is doing a great job. Mari Black made a big move catch up here where she got that tree line in. Is she going to be able to catch up to some of these others? I'm not sure where our top 10 is right now, but everybody's going as quickly as they can. That adrenaline hitting. Inga is down to just those blues and yellows. It's going to be a lot of shape work and just color acuity to wrap this up. But this is going so well. For everybody. We're coming up on the 43 minutes and 50-second line here. Are we going to be able to see people keep this under 45? And Marcha finishes. I blinked and she got the rest of those in. Congratulations, Marcha.
Come on. We have one spot left in top 10.
And Sammy Brownlow is doing a fantastic job. You can see she has maybe about 10 pieces remaining. It's Sammy Brownlow, Freya, and Inga fighting for that last spot. Who's going to be able to get them in? Who's going to be able to claim that last top 10 slot in this unboxed competition in the Euro Jigsaw Jam? I think Sammy Brownlow's down to the last 5 pieces. Can she get these in ahead of Freya and Inga? I think she has just enough of an edge to wrap this up and sink that in. There it is. Is she going to get the last 2 in? Run over to the timer, hit the buzzer. There's Sammy Brownlow. Let's go. Congratulations, Sammy.
Top 10.
Sammy and Chomby hitting a top 10 finish. Absolutely fantastic puzzling. Freya not too far behind. I think there's only 7 pieces remaining. And Alan. Oh, congratulations, Alan. I didn't have you on my Zoom in. Congratulations. Olivia doing a fantastic job. Oh, so many puzzlers are finishing up either in that pure blue or in that forest section, and they are doing an excellent job right now. Really, really fantastic puzzling by everybody.
And now Olivia is done.
Congratulations, Olivia.
Oh.
So many finishers are starting to roll in at this point. We're gonna keep trying to keep up with them, but it's gonna be a little wacky to do that. I am getting I am getting a note from Michelle. We have a video review. Teresa had a problem with her timer, but Teresa did come in second. So there's gonna be an adjustment in the standings. But Teresa came in second, and Connor ended up in third place, which is a phenomenal job by everybody that solved this. And whenever you're within those couple of seconds, it's really exciting. But well done by everybody. Oh, and there's Freya with a strong finish. Yeah, everybody's just pushing so fast right now, and I know adrenaline hits as we cross the 46-minute and 30-second line. Everybody is in that spot of how do I wrap this up, and you've been staring at it. That fatigue is starting to hit in. We know Alejandro's tip about how to deal with fatigue, which is get it done faster. But whenever you're stuck with it, you just got to take that moment to reset yourself, focus, and push through, so that way you can wrap it up as quickly as you can.
And we actually see a pattern that most people are finishing with the yellows.
And there's Mari Black with the finish. Congratulations. And I know more people are going to keep rolling in as we're here. Now that we've had our top 10 finish, I'm wondering if we have a couple of finishers around that we can have a chat with as we go here.
So our first place, Kristen. Kristen, are you with us?
I'm not sure if did Kristen say that she was going to hang around for a quick chat, or did she have to run?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Hello.
Hello there. Hey, congratulations. That was a fantastic job. How does it feel?
Thank you. It feels great. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very glad. I was quite, I was nervous to see how it would go without the picture, but it was really fun.
Were you nervous to work without the picture? Like I know you do such a good job of like sorting ahead and planning things out that way. Was this kind of a challenge for you, or is this like a normal day to day and the image is just a help for you?
I mean, I'm used to like having the picture available, like looking at it beforehand, maybe. I don't use it a lot during the puzzling, but I know what the image will be. Here I was like, yeah, I didn't know anything. And it wasn't like until I was done and I stepped back that I saw that it was like candles and a bird, and yeah.
Oh, a bird, because we were debating, like, what is this weird red banana peel?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's an eye up there and like a beak and the wing.
Okay. And did you identify the purple section with the swirls?
I don't know. I think like an abstract flower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. Would you say that the abstract section was the easiest one out of the four?
Yeah, I think so. Like the colors are more vibrant, so they stand out amongst all the like pieces. And it's also like if you look closely, there's like small white dots in it. Like the texture is a bit different.
Oh, interesting. We haven't seen that on the screen, so that's very useful information. And so I didn't see that, but did you sort a lot in the very beginning?
No, it was more like pick and place. Yeah.
Okay. So the first things were the pinks, purples, reds, or something else, or the edge?
I did the edge first because I think like the last time in the I like participated, I sort of missed. I didn't do the edge until last, and I think that was a mistake. So this time I started with it. Yeah. And then I did a pink section of the bird, I suppose, and then the other. Yeah.
did the lines help anyway? Like the lines separating the different images in the collage?
Yeah, I think when I like noticed that there were lines, it helped. Like I was confident that all the pink purples had to be like in the section, in the down to the left. Yeah.
I think I also saw that you were doing this. I don't know which section it is, maybe with the flip-flops, but you had the line between yellow and the dark green, right? And it seemed like you were doing it and you had a misfit. What was that correct?
Yeah, I had one. And then after a while, I tried it again, but it was still wrong. So yeah.
I sometimes do that as well. Like I have the misfit and I disconnect it and then I'm like, maybe now.
It's worth a try. Yeah.
When you run into that kind of thing where there's uncertainty, how do you have a timer in your brain that goes off of like, hey, I've spent too much time trying to figure this out? Like what tells you to move on at a certain point?
Yeah, I try to, like when I compete at least, and have like that timer, like you have to move on. And I sometimes I like to say it out loud because I talk to myself while I puzzle. And I'm like, yeah, you have to move on now. It's meant to be on this. So.
That's so when you talk to yourself, are you is it very like regimented, or are you like talking silly to yourself? Because I've been around some puzzlers and they're like they'll be like making fun of themselves and the puzzle as they go. They're like, well, that's a silly yellow daisy, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I do both. I try to like coach myself, like you have to go faster, or you have to like move on, or you should do this now. But also just talk to the pieces, and yeah.
Do you ever have to pull some of the pieces aside and have like a serious conversation with them? They're like, look, I know you guys need to go in now.
Yeah, maybe like you don't belong here. Like I suspect you don't belong here, so just. Yeah.
So what would you say was the most difficult section while doing it without knowing the image? Because I think for having the image, it would be different, right?
I think the part, like the one I finished with, the down to the right, it's like trees and a sky.
Yeah.
It was quite difficult. Like after a while, I understood like there's some swirls here, and like the black is in 2 lines, but it was quite difficult. But I think it went like surprisingly well. I was a bit like nervous that it would be a lot of details or something like that, but I think this was a good pick for this kind of competition.
So
oh, sorry, I was gonna say if it had a lot of details in it, do you think that would have shifted how you approach it at the very, very start?
No, I don't think so. Like you just have to find things that you can connect. Like, but I think it would be more challenging like when you have sections and then you have to like start to connect them. If it's like a lot of details, they will probably be a lot smaller. Because here, yeah, you could do quite large sections and then see like these go together. Yeah.
Yeah, and in this, I would say that you have because you have the lines that are connecting different colors, you can place them in correlation to each other. But if we have the details, then if you have an object that is like 3 pieces and the next one is like 3 or 2, then you have to find those little connections between them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So would you say that, oh wait, no. You mentioned that the last section was the most difficult, but I was wondering when I was looking at you doing that section, why didn't you start with the trees? It seemed like you were doing the background first and then you were like, oh, those are trees.
Yeah, they didn't speak to me. I mean, I noticed that there are like two like lines up here, but I just I couldn't like find the correct pieces. So then I just started looking at the color more. Like the line that's furthest down is more like deep yellow, and then it's like more light bright yellow to the upper right corner. So I started looking at that instead.
Was it obvious from the pieces that those trees are going to be like connected to each other? Because sometimes when we see those pieces, we could expect that there are going to be a bunch of different trees like all around. You just expect they're going to be just two or just one?
No, because in the blue at the bottom you can see like 2-3 like trunks, or
Yeah.
the stems of the trees.
Yeah, I thought that maybe, because I don't trust puzzles. So when I would look at this blue and I saw the stems, I would be like, okay, there's us two stems, but there may be more.
Okay, yeah.
So that shook me up. But I think, yeah, this is a good puzzle for trust issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, I think it was good because like all the different sections have sort of different colors, or like nuances of the colors. Yeah. Like the
So
yellow, like similar. Yeah.
So were the styles of the four images different? Like the brush strokes were different in each of them?
Yeah, that's also a factor. Yeah. Like in the last one, the brush strokes are more like swirly, and then on the one I started with, like the bottom left, it's more, there was like some texture, like little white dots, and I think the bird, it was like more smooth, and then the last one was more like straight brush strokes. Yeah. That also helps.
Okay, so I have my last question. When you opened the pieces, did you think about something? Like, were you like, okay, maybe this picture is going to be that, and it ended up not being that?
No, I had like no thoughts of that. I really struggle with these pieces, like the flipping of them, because they're kind of less smooth than like Ravensburger and other brands. So it's often like they're stuck to each other and I can't like disconnect them. So I was talking about that, and that was all, my focus. Yeah.
So we are here sitting watching you and Kristen in Norway. It's like, why are you so picky?
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Kristen, I want you to like enjoy your celebration of a fantastic time on a puzzle where you didn't know what the image was, didn't even get to see what the image was, and alongside a lot of these other like top puzzlers in the world. Do you have before I let you go, do you have any shout outs, people you want to say hi to or anything like that before heading to your next adventure?
No, I can't think of anything. I mean, I would say like congratulations to the other like second place and third place. Of course, it's amazing, and the second place, he's so young. It's it's incredible, so fast.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Well, thank you so much, Kristen, for hanging out for a little while, and congratulations on a job well done. That's absolutely phenomenal.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you.
See ya.
Kristen, our first place winner in the EJJ Unboxed competition, which is really, 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 really phenomenal time, and just a really, it's always fun to pick her brain on how she went through things. Next up, I believe we have Teresa. If Teresa is still around, we can have a quick, we can have a chat with her about how she felt about the puzzle.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
Hello there. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel to put up such a great time when you had no idea what the image was going to be?
I'm very happy with my result because in these days I don't have much time to do puzzles because the preparations for Christmas and much work. So I'm happy.
Have you, you've been having to do a lot of running around that's not puzzling? Wait, there are things outside of puzzling that people can do?
Oh, once more, sorry.
So, there's things that aren't puzzling that you do?
I probably don't understand, sorry.
No. I'm just making I'm just making a silly joke that the only thing you do is puzzle. So it's interesting that there's other things that you wouldn't do.
Yeah, very often I only do puzzles, but not these 2 last weeks. I have no time.
Were you worried at all about this particular competition where you had no idea what the image was going to be?
I like it very much because I think that, especially for me, it's better when everyone else couldn't see the image. Because when I do puzzles, I look at the picture only a few times, and it's about I look at the picture for 1 second, and then I find out that, wait, what was on it? Yeah, I don't know, but I need to check the pieces on the table and let them speak to me.
What do the pieces usually say? Like, are they saying put me in, or do they like how do they talk to you?
Take me, and that's why I do puzzles so chaotic, because every pieces talk to me first, me, no, me.
Do you think this tactic is what makes you such a good pair and a team player? Because you don't need access to the box.
Yeah, maybe because I just choose my pieces and do my section and don't know what everybody else done and what is on the picture. So today I assembled the puzzle vertical, and after I did it, I found out what is it on the picture. I didn't know it for whole time.
So after you've done it, do you know what's on the picture? Because we don't.
Okay, I see some flip-flops on beach, some trees and clouds. There is some maybe hammock, and something, as Kristin said, some abstract picture.
Mm. So which one would you say was the hardest one for you?
Maybe also the trees with the clouds, because I didn't know that it's trees. I see only some blue, yellow, and brown lines.
Yeah, nice.
So this was the hardest.
So would you say that it was harder because you also didn't know what to make of the pieces? Or would it be easier if you knew that this is supposed to look like that?
I think that with this section, it wouldn't help me if I see the picture.
So with this thing, I think we saw you doing something different from everyone else. Is that you were doing those like smaller blue sections in between yellow sections first, and then you kind of placed those little islands inside, and then placed the yellows at the very end. Why did you do that?
Well, I really don't know how did I done it. I don't know. Sorry.
You were
So it's
you were
just
on
nature.
autopilot at that point, and we're just getting the pieces in as they yelled at you. Is that about right?
Yeah.
That's so cool. When was there a I know that now that you see it, you kind of have an idea of what things are. When you're puzzling for something like this that's super artsy style, and it's not clear what the thing is, how much does that factor into knowing which pieces to grab to start putting together?
I don't know. I just choose some colors and did it.
So would you do anything differently this time around if you were doing it now, knowing what the picture is?
Probably nothing. I will next time I will do the same way, but maybe I will do it horizontal, but maybe same, and it will be chaotic again,
Mm.
like usual.
Well, I mean, it doesn't seem chaotic. It seems like you have an internal plan, even if your brain doesn't know what it is. Your
wish
body
I-
clearly knows what it is, which is really really cool. Do you- is do if there's an image, do you approach it the same way, or like what was the difference here versus other puzzles where you have that image?
Well, if I see the image, probably I will. On the beginning, I will do it same way. I will sort the edges, and then I choose the colors which wants to be done the first, and maybe next it will help the picture, but for me not much. I can't work with the picture.
Have you ever tried doing speed puzzling solo with trays? So to just be able to do your small puzzles with the pieces that speak to you outside. So you have some prepared, and then you just look at them like, okay, I have to arrange them this way, but I have I have them on the trays, so you can move them wherever you want. So maybe that would be easier for you.
Yeah, maybe that would, but I am not so disciplined in my training like you. So that's because that's the way I am not so fast now, because I can't train more and more on the same puzzle. I don't go back to the same puzzle. I will do it by once and then the next one. I know I have to try another options or another ways to do the puzzle, but I did not.
Oh well, you just
I love how you
have to.
Yeah, I love how your definition of not that fast is still sub 38 minutes on a puzzle that's unpublished. Like that's crazy fast. Like what kind of times would you want to be putting up in order for you to feel like you're going fast?
Under 35.
Under 35. Okay.
Yeah. 38 is for me bad time.
Gotcha.
I'm okay with that Kristen is first because it's world champion, but for me is the time with 38 minutes back.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel similarly.
Well, I'm rooting for your next sub 35 one. I'm not sure what competitions you have coming up, if any, but I'm hoping that you get some time to be able to knock that down. Because you definitely do that a whole lot. I know a lot of other puzzlers kind of get in their heads and they have these timelines of what they want to hit. Like there's a lot of puzzlers where it's like, I want to finally get under an hour. Do you have any advice for them on how to set that goal and to hit it and to keep pushing for it, even if they don't get it on certain puzzles?
Sorry, what was the question? Because there is my family and they are speaking.
Hi, Teresa's family. We can all we can all wait for them. No. What advice do you have for puzzlers that want to hit a specific time goal and are trying to like hit the sub-hour line?
I don't know. It's you will see it when you start with puzzling. You have some time, and then you try to beat it. And for me, it was about 45 minutes when I started, and when I get under 45, I was about 40. It was great, but then we have to be on another competition, and then you see you can be better and better and faster. So now when I do time is 45 minutes, it's so bad because I know I could do 30 minutes sometimes, but not on the same puzzle. It's okay.
So we know that this meeting and this live stream is the last one of the year. So what are your plans for 2026 in terms of puzzling? Or any goals you have?
Well, I maybe no, because as I said, I have not much times in these days, so the puzzle is not on my first place right now. So that's I don't know, think about my plans in 2026, but I will go for sure for some competitions. We will meet on many many places, so let's see.
I'm excited to see where you end up, and I hope you get to do all the puzzles all the time. But I know that you know you have to juggle all the things, which isn't easy. What would be a perfect puzzle for you that didn't have an image ahead of time that you could do without an image? Like if it was a competition like this, what would be like the ideal image that you know you could go under 32 minutes on?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I can't think about it. Probably it's something like postcards. As everybody knows, it's very easy, or inside out. So something like this.
I know there was this one puzzle from Treble Prime with the cat that you did in sub 30, and I think this would be a very good puzzle to do without an image because it had those two gradients and also gradients inside the cat. So I think that one would be perfect for you.
Maybe.
Oh man. Well, Teresa, I know you have lots of stuff to do and just go celebrate and everything like that. Do you have any shout outs you want to give to the world before we let you on to your next adventure?
I don't know.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't know if you wanted to like say hi to your family or anything like that. but they're all right there. Well, really congratulations, Teresa. It's a job well done, and I'm excited to keep seeing you and getting to chat with you in the future again because you're a wonderful human.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Congrats, and we'll see you on the next ones.
Thank you.
Congratulations. See you.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to all. Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas
Bye.
to you too.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Do the things. Eat snacks. Victor, I know I'm kind of curious, even in the holiday season, do you ever snack while you're puzzling? Because I know that's hotly debated.
Not really, actually. No. Very rarely. And only if I'm doing like big puzzles that are not for speed, because right now I'm doing a big puzzle for speed.
Wait, you're doing that 7,000 4 speed?
Yes. I'm timing myself and actually, using not 100% of my speed because it's very difficult to do that, but as much as I can.
That's phenomenal. Michelle, we had a question in the chat. Who is the artist for this particular image? And then, oh, there you are.
Yes, so this is one of the first puzzles that we got printed, and it's a collage of pictures from my kids. So
Well, they did a fantastic job. Those are great colors.
So the title is Kids Art, and it's done by 3 kids. I put in the chat like what the images are. Yes.
Okay, I guess there was the burning question, so I wanted to make sure people
So
got that.
in short, it's Zoe, Aria, and Quinn Casper.
Fantastic. We're coming up on the hour and 16-minute line here, and we've had I think 67 finishers so far out of the 95. I think we're going to be able to clear the room here. I'm super excited. I want everybody to finish before the time. But as we're watching these finishes, I'm going to give a quick recap of the top 10. We had Kristen Tove in first place, followed by Teresa in second, Connor in third, Kati in fourth, Jessica W in fifth, Alejandro in sixth, Kiara in seventh, Rachel Chambers in eighth, Denise, formerly Yasmin, in ninth, and Marcha is in 10th, I believe, is what the thing is currently saying. We'll get all the official results for everything as we go. But that's where the stuff is standing right now. Congratulations to everybody. And I believe the top time was in 35 minutes and 31 seconds, which is blazing fast. And everybody is doing an excellent job right now. Coming up next, I wonder if Connor is around and wants to have a quick chat with us. So we can talk with him about his experience in this unboxed competition.
Hi.
Hey, there he is. Hi, Connor. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Congratulations on putting up such a fantastic time. How does it feel to put up such a really fast speed against a lot of these other amazing puzzlers?
I feel proud of myself. I was a little nervous going into it because I don't have a lot. I look at the box that's a ton before when I do a puzzle. So this was kind of like a first time for me.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and you didn't see the image at all. You didn't know what it was. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody did. That was the point of the whole thing. What was your first thoughts whenever you dumped the pieces out?
My first thoughts were probably sort the purple and do it immediately because I saw the pieces and that's probably like a third of the puzzle. So I just decided to do that. So then get out of the way and then do the rest once I was finished with that.
That's I love how straightforward that is. You make it sound so easy. Did it feel easy as you were doing it?
At the end it kind of got hard, but at the beginning I would say it was pretty easy.
What was the hardest part for you? Just the closeout finish, or was there an area that was tricky for you?
I think probably the hardest part was like the bottom right corner with the trees, and then like the Starry Night kind of painted sky was pretty tricky.
Do you think it would have been easier if you had the image?
100%. It would be way easier.
So what would you do differently if you knew the picture before?
I'd probably do the sandal kind of picture first because the sandals and the purple were a different color. So I think it would be easier if I did that and then ended with the sky.
Did you have any like inner calculations of like on the basis of you see the pieces with the flip-flops, right? And you don't really know what they are at the very beginning and how many of them they are. So did you decide to not do them straight away because of the risk that they have in them? Because if you decided to do them, then because of the fact that you don't have as much information about them, then maybe they would be more difficult than you expect from the amount of pieces?
I think I would have. I think I didn't really see him once I dumped the pieces out. The really only thing I could see once I dumped the pieces out was the pinkish red.
And were they easy to like distinguish between the two pictures that had the pinks and reds?
I think the bird was like a little more pink than the bottom left one.
And the backgrounds, because we also saw at the very beginning when the pieces were on the table and people were flipping and sorting, that there's a lot of yellow/orange. And did you think that those sections that are in those colors are going to be something continuous? So you would have the yellow and orange on two sides or in some different arrangement and you just have to fill it in? Or did you know from the very beginning, or what was the point that you realized that those are not going to be connected and this yellow is somewhere else and this orange is there and this different yellow is somewhere else?
I think I built in. I like built off of like the bird and like on the greenish yellowish background that the sandals are on. I built out from like what I had done until I just had little pieces to put in.
So would you say that trying to start with the yellows would be a mistake?
I would say it was a mistake because there's a lot of it, probably like another third of the puzzle was just yellows.
Okay, and for the last section that you said that it was getting difficult at the very end, why do you think it was getting difficult? What would be the description of where the difficulty came from?
I think it was pretty hard because there's like a lot of yellow dots all over the place, and pretty much every single piece looked the exact same.
Have you done ever something similar? Because for me, this section reminds me a lot of the blue sun, like the circle puzzles from Ravensburger, when you had those waves or yellow and blues, that all of the pieces were kind of the same, but the texture was just this one block of wavy things. Have you seen something similar before?
I've seen kind of like with the astrology circle of colors from Ravensburger.
Mhm.
Once you had like the comets, kind of like animals kind of things done, it was just all wavy lines that was pretty hard, but they had like a different kind of gradient color, so they weren't terribly hard.
So what would you say is your tactic to handle those things? Do you just go and find the pieces that connect to the things you already have, or you're trying to sort a little bit of them that look similar and do that and then build out of that? How that works?
I think the second thing that you said is what I do because I don't sort. I rarely sort from the very beginning. I just sort one section at a time, and I just do that, and then sort another thing and do that.
Have you ever tried sorting more things at the very beginning?
After I had all the pinks done, I knew I had some missing, so that I went in to see what I had, but also I sorted another section at the same time.
Mhm. Well, so would you say that sorting a lot is kind of standing in your way in terms of speed? So you just because of that, you just want to have one thing and then be done with it and go on?
Yeah, I would say that, but in my opinion, that makes it easier than starting from the very beginning. Because when you start from the beginning, that's a higher chance of leaving some pieces behind.
So, Jim?
I was gonna say, Connor, we know that a lot of times if you recognize what the image is or like what the artwork is, it kind of helps you. You know, like people that really like anime, they do really well on the anime puzzles because they're familiar with the characters and everything like that. So this artwork was done by several kids that are about your age. Do you think that that helped you at all because you kind of recognize that style of art?
Not really, because I don't really do like kind of animals. I mainly do like portraits.
Oh, cool. What kind of portraits do you make?
Sometimes like myself, or maybe like, I honestly don't really know.
Have you ever thought about turning some of your portraits into puzzles?
Not really, but I just think portraits are fun to make because you get to add like little details to make it look more realistic.
Gotcha. When you do you like puzzles that are shaped like portraits, or do you like them more as landscapes?
I like it kind of like what this puzzle was, because
This way?
yeah,
Yeah,
because
this is
that's
landscape,
like
yeah.
because that's like less space that you need to do it.
Do you think as you grow older and become taller that your arms will be long enough that you'll like the portrait ones more?
Maybe, but that might take a while.
At least a couple of months, right?
Yeah.
Well, I still don't like them, and my arms are longer.
It makes sense. What kind of how many puzzles do you think you do in a week?
It depends if I have school or not. About school days, maybe like once a day. But on weekends, like days where, like for example, this week where I don't have any school all week, then probably about 10 or something.
That's really cool. That's a lot of practice time. I know that a lot of people that are trying to get into speed puzzling and want to get better, you know, they're not always sure what to do. What kind of advice would you give to people that are speed puzzling that want to get a little better?
I would say definitely look at the image a lot and just try your best and practice a lot.
That's
When you're
something-
Oh,
Jim?
go ahead, Victor.
That's also something I wanted to ask because I never really heard any interview with you. Is what is your kind of practice looking like? How do you train?
As soon as I get home, I normally do whatever homework I have, and then as soon as I'm done with that, I normally maybe eat a little snack and then just puzzle for the rest of the night.
So, is there anything more than just spending time on puzzles? Is there anything you want to fix in your puzzling, or do you have any goals or just specific things that you want to train actually, or is just by exposure?
I think I definitely need to train with more busy puzzles, like what we had at nationals and the Paris final. That's the kind of puzzle I need to practice on, because I normally like doing a puzzle that pretty much kind of like the one that I just did, because I like more solid sections, because I think that you can sort more of it. But in the busy puzzle, there's like 5 different colors on one piece, so it's hard to find the pieces and try to put them where they go.
Yeah, I think it fits with what you said about how we are puzzling, right? Because if you just sort one section at a time with busy puzzles, this section is very small. And it's not a big advantage to have everything because you cannot really have everything because it's all around the praise, right? So yeah, that fits. Yeah, interesting. Do you have any busy puzzles that went really well for you, that you know that you want to learn from them how to repeat that later?
I think the Disney Pixar one is definitely a good puzzle because it's also a fast one. And I also know most of the characters, so it's not as hard for me.
Oh yeah, so this is another question I wanted to ask because I've seen the new record for the Disney palette. So congratulations on that. And I
you.
wanted to ask if by any chance you are doing this puzzle in a way that you just grab the pieces and place them where they should be, or are you actually treating it like a puzzle? So you're doing the edges and everything. How does it work?
I think on the Disney Pixar one, I sorted out like the purples and reds separate, but at the end, I just picked up like 10 pieces and put them where they go.
Okay, but do you have the 10 pieces in your hands, or you just place them somewhere so that your hands can move and place them?
I think I just leave them on the. As soon as I put in a piece, I go back, pick one up, and then put them in where they go.
Okay, I'm asking because I had this theory that doing speed puzzling speed runs, actually not like first tries, but speed runs specifically, would be a totally different thing if we figure out the way to have like the use of both hands, but in a way that, let's say, you are in the main tile and you're picking out something, right? And let's say you have 5 pieces of that and 5 pieces of that in both of the hands. And you're kind of like opening the hands so that you see what you have. And at the same time, you can separately decide for each hand where that hand needs to go based on the pieces you have. And so that you're not stopping, right? So you have this, I have this 5 pieces of this, and I know that this one goes there, this one goes there, but the next one from this hand already goes there. So I think it would be interesting to see if there can be someone, maybe you, maybe someone else, that can, learn that. That would be very interesting and impressive.
Hey, Connor, what do you think is your puzzling superpower? What is the best thing that you are at puzzling right now?
Probably solid color or gradient kind of, or sky, because that's probably the most amount of puzzles that I do have those things. So I think that I do most of the images. So then the more images I do, the better I'll get at one kind of puzzle.
It's really cool that you get to practice that a lot. Does your family support your puzzling?
My mom 100% does. My grandmother also does a lot. Pretty much my entire family knows about my puzzling.
That's really exciting. I'm glad that you have a really good support team. Does your school know that you're puzzling this much?
Probably like maybe half of my teachers know about me, and a lot of the kids know about my puzzling, but they're not like, what'd you get on your last puzzle? They just know like I've been to big competitions.
To be fair, I'm an adult and people don't ask me about my puzzling either, so I get that one.
Same here.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite subject in school right now?
probably about overall, maybe like social studies, because it's
Ooh.
probably like it's like more fun than a lot of the other classes that I do.
Are there a lot of maps in your social studies class?
Um, we mainly learn about like 3 types of maps and like the symbols on the map, but probably like 2 or 3 maps in our classroom is my guess.
Do you ever look at a map and try to piece things together on the map?
Not usually, because I normally pay attention on what's happening.
Well, you're a better person than me. I always get distracted in class. So. Oh man, that's really cool, and I'm glad. I'm glad that your teachers are supportive, and your friends, the other students will come around. Have you ever tried to make a to like make a puzzle club at school, or get your friends to hang out with and do puzzles?
At my elementary school, they were thinking about it, but I think it may have been like a little too late in the year to actually do it.
Hmm. Well, there's always more time to make more puzzles down the line, right? Which is really cool. And I really hope you get to hang out with more puzzlers, because you are, I mean, I would say an up and coming star, but you very much are just in that rarefied air of fantastically fast puzzlers. How does it feel knowing that you are one in that like top puzzlers in the world category?
At the beginning, if I like didn't know, I'd be really shocked. At the beginning, my first puzzle was a speedpuzzling.com competition. I did in like an hour and 34 or something. That time I didn't really feel that fast. But then when like a year later, that's when I started getting like first and second place on speedpuzzling.com competitions.
Yeah, it's really fun to see your times come in on those, and you're just absolutely fabulous at it. Do you get more excited coming in like first, second, third place, or do you get excited about putting up a really good time?
Probably about half. Depends on my time though. If I'm like under 35, I'm really happy. And if I get like top 3, I'm really proud of myself.
That's really cool. Um, we were talking to Teresa a little bit ago, and she was saying a similar thing, that she wants to be under 35, but then the ranking is like a nice little add-on after that, which is kind of cool. Do you have any puzzlers that you look up to that you want to puzzle like?
I think definitely Alejandro and Victor are people that I look up to because they also have very fast fingers like me, and they like pick up a piece and they know where it goes really fast, which is something I do.
Well, I have great news. Do you have any questions for Victor that you want to ask?
Um, not really.
Okay, that's fine.
But I have a
I didn't mean
question.
to. I didn't want to put you on the spot. It's always just fun. Victor is just a fantastic human. So if you all ever get a chance to just reach out and say hi, he'll say hi back. He doesn't bite hardly ever.
But I have a question. Have you heard about the World Series? This new competition that is going to happen.
I know about the World Series in baseball, but not in puzzling.
So we are going to have World Series in Germany next year, and this competition is individual only, and it is going to be 6 competitions. You'll have to take part in 6 of them, and based on the overall ranking for all of them, the winner will be chosen. And all of the categories are going to have different puzzling styles to beat. And this competition, as far as I know, but I have to double check. But never mind. I think this competition is accepting participants from 10 years old. So after like reading back in the rules, I was like, so I'm just letting you know that you can look around and read about that. So not really a question, but you know.
Connor, I think he's trying to convince you to go to the World Series.
And 3 of them at least are going to be Ravensburgers, unpublished. So
that's pretty cool. Or do you does your family get excited for you to like travel to do competitions? Like I know you were at nationals this past year. Are you going to go to nationals again this year, you think?
I already signed up and I'm with the same parent team that I was with last year. And
Yeah.
me and my grandmother are going again.
And mom, yeah. That's really exciting. Would you want to travel the world puzzling?
Me and my mom are thinking about going to Worlds, but it depends on the venue and what time of year it is.
Yeah, because you can't miss a lot of school for it, you know?
Yeah.
School's kind of important.
Yeah.
Have you thought about what you want to what you want to do whenever you're older, like after you get out of school?
Honestly, I don't really know, but
Oh,
see, Jim, I don't know either.
yeah. I was
And
about
I'm
to say,
out.
most people don't know. So you're in plenty good company there, Connor. What's your favorite puzzle brand right now? Not of all time, just this week maybe.
probably easily Ravensburger.
Yeah. What is what is your favorite type of puzzle to do?
I think my favorite type of puzzle is a puzzle that is kind of busy, but not too busy, where there's like 5 different colors on one piece.
So maybe biz, but not busy.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you like border pieces, or do you like to do the border early, or do you care about when you do the border?
Probably about 80 or 70% of the time I do border first. But if there's like a section that really sticks out in the puzzle, I will do that first.
I love the high level of statistics that you have in that it's about 80%. That's really good. Pop quiz, because I think it's fun. Do you know how many pieces there are in a border for a Ravensburger puzzle?
86.
Yeah, there it is. Do you ever count them out as you're going? Some puzzlers do that.
The only way I know it because at Worlds I heard you say there's about 86 pieces, maybe like 5 times on the live stream, so that's pretty much how I know it.
That's cool. When you're I had a really fun question there for a second. When you're puzzling, do you talk to yourself?
Maybe like not often, but sometimes.
What do you say to yourself as you're puzzling?
Normally like, why doesn't this piece go in? If there's like the last area and I have no clue where any of them go, and I find this one piece, I think I know where it goes, but then it doesn't.
Gotcha. Do you ever listen to music?
I listen to music on this puzzle, but like when I do big individual competitions, that's when I listen to music. But if it's like pair team, that I don't listen to music during those.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Mainly like country or pop.
Okay. No K-pop Demon Hunters?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. I know I'm not nearly cool enough to get into that. That do you when you're puzzling, does your family cheer you on?
Um, During Zoom competitions, my mom always watches on how I'm doing compared to the other people.
Is that does that ever does is that exciting for you to hear how other people are doing, or is it distracting? Because I know some people listen to the commentary while people are doing these puzzles, and it can be exciting, it can be nerve wracking. How does it feel to know
Um, I think it like makes me go faster because my mom says you're like tied with, for example, like say I was like tied with really close to Kati. That's when I go. That's when I know we're close, and that's
that?
where I go really fast.
Gotcha. Well, it's really cool because I know some puzzlers, they get really nervous whenever they hear that they're doing really well or that they're tied with somebody. Um, well, I think that's kind of Connor. I don't want to keep you from celebrating and hanging out with your family. I know it's holidays and everything coming up. Um, do you have any shout outs you want to give to the world before you go to your next adventure?
Um, I'd like to shout out to my family, and I think that's mainly it.
Your family sounds pretty cool. Do me a favor and give them all a high five from me for being awesome and supportive of you, and from Victor. Yeah, Victor's waving too, and from Michelle. Just give everybody a high five from us, and happy holidays, and congratulations on a fantastic job. Well done on this puzzle.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats, Connor.
Congratulations again.
Yeah, we'll see you around on the next one. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, and we're getting ready to cross the 48-minute or hour and 48 minutes here, and we have 3 puzzlers remaining. I think I am really excited. I'm pushing for us to clear the room. We can see Marie is doing an excellent job and is closing out that upper left-hand corner with the sandals in the beach, and Christine is doing that lower right-hand corner, that starry night forest. And Dora, our good Dora, who is so adorable, our Dora, is doing a great job, has the 2 squares that are catty corner to each other lined up, and is now working in on that starry night. And this is going to be really exciting. Push, push, push. You have about 12 minutes left, and I think you can make it.
So today we had a large group of people do the same image with the image during the flex meeting, and it was really interesting watching people because people started in all different places on the image. So it wasn't like one of those images where everybody starts in the same area and then they move on to the next one and they all finished in the same area. It was really interesting seeing where people started, and something that really surprised me is, like, when I was doing it, I mean, obviously I had the image, but I could see that there, like, I go for these contrast lines when I see there's a really strong contrast, and I didn't see people doing that early on. We saw Kati doing that at some point. At some point she realized that there's like a quarter and she started to do that, and I was surprised that, yeah, not many people did that even with the image.
I think whenever you don't know whenever you're really not sure about the image, it's harder to know that there is a good contrast line and it's not just part of a mess. You know, and whenever you have the image, if you try to do that feature plus one of, oh, let me do the like dark green plus the light green, right, is that going to be a good line, or is there not enough pieces to grab onto? And I think there's a lot of second guessing that goes on whenever you have things that are a little uncertain like that.
I also really love that you just showed this puzzle because I finally understood what Kristen said about the stems. Because I was like, but you can have more trees than that. Like, and now, like, I understand that this puzzle is this way. So it's actually the trunks. So it has to be 2 trees.
Yep.
It makes sense all of a sudden.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. That's the kind of thing where if you don't know what the image is and you just see this black on yellow and blue, you're not it's not entirely clear that it all goes in the same area, right? I don't think a lot of people even figured out that it was a collage style until probably about halfway through, if not a little later. Um, and
Well,
we're still kind of guessing where it would end up.
yeah, well, I thought it was really interesting that when we got caught a sight of Connor and Kristen, that they both had done the same opposite quarters, and from that point, I think was it then obvious to the two of you that it was made up of
Yep.
four
Yeah.
images? Yeah.
Yeah, and both of them decided to go for those purples and pinks early, and I think that kind of helped nudge the build order together, um, which was really slick, and it also lodged in with the border pretty well. If you end up doing like the yellows or the blues, not only are they split, but they don't give you a strong enough anchor point to start using shape work after that thing. So there's a combination of a little bit of luck involved about did you pick the right colors early in such a way that it gave you that, but also, just sticking to the plan of, hey, these are the colors that we're grabbing and rolling with.
And go, Marie. Just a few more pieces left. Well, oh yeah, that's right. She's not listening. Well, I'm cheering for her anyway.
Just because they can't hear it doesn't mean we don't mean it. Get those last couple in, down to the last 3. Is she going to be able to keep this down under the hour 53? I think she's going to be able to do it. Just a couple more rotations. Oh, they're all feeding out of the hand, doing a little bit of Pez dispenser work. I think
so
you're
good with rotating the pieces in her hand, actually.
Yeah, that's one of those things that a lot of folks can practice a lot, is just rotating the pieces in your hand while you're sitting around. So that way you get a little more dexterity. And Marie's doing a great job closing that out.
Good job, Marie.
There it is. There it is. Come on. I think she pulled a Victor and hit a few extra pieces on her hand.
Yes.
Congratulations. Very well done. Yeah, well, Michelle, I want to ask you, how does it feel for you knowing that you're not torturing puzzlers with this kind of format, but challenging them in ways that they weren't expecting?
They asked for it. People have been asking for it for a long time. Yeah. The thing is, it's really hard to find a suitable image. Like I've been thinking about this for a long time, because actually Andrea Ping asked me about it like sometime in the, I don't know, middle to end of last year, but I could never find like the right image. Like if it's a photo, I think it's just too hard. Like if it's like a typical photo with like a gradient, or like, with really large sections, like you don't want something like a mountain with a sky or a forest. I think that would just be too hard. And like somebody else mentioned, like a busy, I think it was Kristen saying, if it's too busy, oh yeah, Victor, you were saying like if you have just like 3 or 4 pieces here, but you have no idea where to place them and they could just be floating forever. So you have to have sections that are large enough that you can place them and kind of see where they connect, but also not too large that they just become too frustrating. And then it should be colorful. There should be somewhat sortable. It's quite hard to find something. You want it to be still somewhat easy, that the majority of people finish it, but there should still be a challenge in there. So I have seen some images that were like, if I have an image that's really easy, then I would rather use that for a proper normal competition, so that people can get like a really good first attempt on it. Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, I think it's fun that you have that with this format, you have so many people that are getting a first attempt in a way that they're not used to. And I think it's really, really exciting to see how well they've done. Like we've had what is it? We've had 94 finishers so far, all under the time limit so far. The top 50 were all under an hour and 4 minutes, which is crazy to be able to do that without the image at all. Like that's really, really impressive, and just shows that you know, you listening to what the puzzlers are asking for is really, really cool. But also, you're so thoughtful in how you think about which images to give them is really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I would, yeah, next time, I mean, so I've had a lot of people ask for this again, people who are already on holidays now, or who didn't manage to purchase this one. So there is definitely a lot of interest in this style of competition format, and I think it would be quite fun. I've participated in one competition like this. It was organized by Robert, who does the Swedish Puzzle Rush competitions. And that one was a photo, and I think it was almost too easy. Because as you poured the pieces out, it was like, oh, that looks like sky. Oh, that looks like pavement. So
Yeah.
immediately you had an orientation, and then it was like, oh, here's bricks on this side, and here's something else on the other side. So, but we didn't even know that it was a puzzle without the image. It was just like a question mark for the competition. So instead of saying 500 pieces, it just said question mark. And so I was thinking, oh, it's going to be one of those weird ones with like 600 pieces, but like with the image, or something really random. And in the end, there was, yeah, it was actually separated. So that was at the moment when we took it out of the box that we realized, oh, actually we're doing a puzzle without the image. So yeah, I enjoyed it and figured it out as I went along. But yeah, there'll be different images coming up in the future.
That's always exciting, and like the fact that you're doing them unpublished, so that way it's a fair first shake for everybody, is really exciting. We can see Christine coming up on the last 1, 2, 3, I think maybe 4 or 5 pieces or so. Just needs to lock them in. Is she going to be able to keep this under the hour and 58 line?
Definitely. Yep. Go, Christine.
Come on, just get those last 3 in. Get the rotation. We can see the holiday lights all around the table. Hopefully they're giving her a little bit of a boost.
Yes.
There it is.
Well done, Christine.
Congratulations.
Yes. So now my question is, Victor, you didn't want to do this competition, but now that you've seen it, is it something you would like to do next time?
I would be very scared of this image, because I think even with the box, I wouldn't be able to be as fast as Kristen and Connor and Teresa. So that's, yeah, I don't know. I think I would have prepared a photo for myself, but I think for the competition it's more interesting to have something like this. So I don't know, I have to try, incorporate my mom or someone from my family to use my money to buy me puzzles that I don't know and don't see, and try that to see if it's not draining. Because I know that when I have puzzles that have something amiss, like a puzzle twist or a was glitch or something like that, I struggle with those puzzles a lot, because I don't know what exactly is going to be wrong in the picture, or what am I supposed to trust in the box. So yeah, it's very draining for me, this feeling of unknown. But at the same time, when I started thinking after purchasing EJJs, it's like, but without any information, maybe that's not going to be that bad. So I'll be trying to do that in the future.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Oh.
Congratulations, Dora.
Oh, well done for doing your best effort.
You did wonderful. This one's not. It's not easy to do whenever you don't have the image. You did fantastic. We're excited for you. Oh man.
Yeah, so in terms of photos, I think like I don't think it's that all photos are hard. I think like if it was a nature photo, I mean those are just in general hard. But I think like for example, maybe a photo of, you know, like a still life photo with like a table or a desk with different objects, something like that could work if they're recognizable objects, or maybe like a street scene or something with you know, one of these daily life
Yeah.
images with like boats and people and things like that, if it's not like too busy. So yeah, it's as with every image, it's trying to find a good balance between easy and fast and a bit of challenge, or somewhere in between.
I almost wonder if doing a photorealistic image of something unrealistic would be interesting.
Such as?
I know that sounded silly. Like if making something that looks photorealistic but is some sort of like fantasy sci-fi kind of thing.
Oh, so it's like an object that it's not common to recognize.
Yeah. So it's not like everybody has seen a picture of a tractor in a field kind of a thing, but if there's like a UFO flying around in space somewhere, right? Like that would be both familiar and unfamiliar at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've done so there's a company in Germany that produces black box puzzles, and they're 1,000 piece puzzles. They come in a black box and there's no image there. They come in 5 categories, and the one that I received was architecture. So that's all you know is like the category. So it might be nature, architecture, I don't know, food, or I don't actually know what the other ones were. And that's all I knew. So obviously there's going to be windows and doors and banisters and things like that, but it was actually really fun to kind of figure it out as it went along. Yeah. So there's definitely, so there are some companies that already specialize in this, and yeah, maybe this will become a more common format in the future. All right, so I'll just wait for Dora to put her her leftover pieces in there. I think she's got it.
Congrats, Dora.
Yes, so Dora has put her pieces in there. Well done, Dora. Thank you so much. And yeah, thanks Victor and Jim for co-hosting this one, commenting. Bye, Dora. And yeah, being a bit clueless, but I really enjoyed your commentary and how you figured things out.
Thanks for having us on. It was a blast.
I really enjoyed not knowing what the picture is.
Well, I did like the what was it, the black creature on the yellow background and the banana peel.
Yeah.
And there was something else that I found quite amusing. So all right. Well, thanks everyone who puzzled, who watched along with us, and for you guys for co-hosting. And there's no more live streams this year, so this is the last live stream. There will be one more competition on tomorrow night, Monday. That's a flex competition, and that's a double trouble. So the participants have received 2 puzzles. They have to do one of them, and then we'll see what they pick. And
that'll be fun.
Already done that.
Yeah, I'm kind of a bit over it. I'm kind of like, okay, it was very interesting as we were leading up to Worlds, and now it's like the motivation for like picking an image from 2 of them is kind of like nosedived. All right. Okay, well, thanks everyone, and see you next year. So
see you next year, everybody.
all right.
See you next year.
Enjoy your holiday.